Hey, what's up everybody? Dylan here from Iceberg TV. Today we're going to be testing out the new Mcbeth Malita. So beadless, small diameter mid-range, 5.5, -1.1. I've got 4 other Discraft mid-ranges to compare it to. I have a Buzz SS, I've got a Buzz, I've got a Wasp, and a Meteor. And yeah, I've thrown this 1 or 2 times, but it seems pretty true to these flight numbers. So I'm really curious to see how it stacks up to discs like the Buzz SS and some of the other options that we have out here today. Hole 1, 270, uphill. That's a Buzz SS. Honestly, not flipping up as much as I thought it was going to. You can definitely feel in hand that this is a small diameter mid. Like it feels like a small disc. Wow, that flew very similar to the Buzz SS. But although it flew similar, they definitely feel very different in hand because the Malita does feel so small. All right, we've got the short tee here on hole 4. We've got a Meteor and we have a Malita. The Meteor is a -3 flip, so I'm curious how much easier is it to turn the Meteor as it is the Malita. That Meteor just flipped up and went dead, like straight. Not getting much turn. There is a little tailwind. I feel like I really have to force this over for it to hold the turn. Wow. That was a beautiful shot shape. I kind of forced the issue a little bit. It's understable enough to hold the turn, but not so understable to where it would burn over into a roller. That was perfect flight. Very similar to how a Buzz would fly for me on that line. All right, I've got the 2011 Crystal Buzz. I am curious to see on that sort of forced line, is the Malita that similar to the Buzz? Let's see if it holds the turn in a similar manner. It did want to hold, but the Buzz will have a little bit more swing back at the end. Holding very similar to a Buzz in my opinion though, which I'm really surprised about. All right, the Wasp we're comparing the Malita to is this old kind of beat up Elite Z Wasp. Pretty straight Wasp, so I feel like it might fly similar to the Malita. We'll go Wasp first, then Malita. 250 feet, slightly uphill. So that's a lot straighter than most Wasps. Actually, it was a pretty good shot. Try and throw the Malita on kind of a similar flat line. All right, so having a bit more turn than the Wasp, but still has a little bit of fight. All right, we're gonna check out the Buzz SS compared to the Malita again. It's 318 feet, but I feel like this hole plays a hair further than that. But we're gonna go Buzz SS and then Malita. Let's see if we can put one close here. So the Buzz SS flying pretty good. It's actually circle's edge, maybe inside the circle. Again, these small diameter discs usually don't glide that well, but this seems to glide pretty well. So I'm hopeful we can get it there. Oh, I kind of yanked it, but really got a hold of it there. Off the road, come back in. That's gonna be pinned high on the road. Flying very true to that -1.1. It's got a nice turn the mid-flight and then a nice consistent fade back at the end. All right, we're staring directly into the sun, so we got some cinematic angles going on right now. We're gonna put a Meteor and a Malita out onto the fairway on a slight bit of hyzer. The Malita really has the true -1. Like it really wants to flip up and it really wants to turn over just a little bit. This is the Meteor. It's Meteor, -3, having no problem staying inbounds and in the fairway. We'll throw the Malita also on a slight hyzer. See if we can get a similar type of flight. Yeah. It's like a little more stable, bit more fadey Meteor type disc. Super into it. I'm really liking the flight so far. And that small diameter feels very comfortable in the hand. Wow. I loved it. That was the perfect height. All right, guys, this is gonna be our last hole of the day. I'm actually super impressed with the Malita. And coming off the back end of the Zone SS, which I also really, really loved, man, my expectations weren't super high that I was going to love this, but man, I'm really enjoying the process of learning this disc. Our last hole of the day is about 300 feet downhill, par 3. We just basically need a dead straight shot. So we'll go Buzz Assess, Meteor, and then we'll throw Malita on the last shot of the day. See if we can't come somewhat close to the metal hit here. This is the Buzz. That might go in. Oh, it's a little short, but that's, I mean, it's parked. That was a cool shot. All right, Buzz Assess. Should get a little more flip than the Buzz. No, none. That glow Buzz Assess is not flipping like it used to. All right, Meteor. The Meteor is the most understable of everything we have today. That's so nice. Parked as well. I would say this Malita is right in between the Meteor and the Buzz Assess. But if you're super into the hand feel of a small diameter mid, that's where you're really going to see people liking this. See, not quite as much flip as the Meteor, but just so straight with a small fade at the end. I would highly recommend you guys check one out. If you want to get a 10% discount, use my link in the description below at discgolfdealsusa.com/icebergtv. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video, and take care.